Hello, I'm RetroJules. Now where were we? Oh yes, the 45 TP as a stock tank was pretty good actually, and all things considered, at tier 7 for a heavy, it was okay. But I then did realise that I had no footage saved. I really didn't get an excellent or even pretty decent or funny game to show you, which kind of made me realise that as much as it was a playable tank, it was nothing amazing. And do remember, there isn't an amazing tanker behind the controller either, which speaks volumes. But it was playable, and that led me very nicely to the 53 TP Markovskaya. Well, at least this time I didn't have to start this tank with no crew skills and a 75% crew. When the opportunity came to unlock a new skill on the 45 TP, I didn't do it. Saved the XP, and it was great actually, because by the time I bought this 53 TP, I had 100% crew and I still had enough XP to start a new skill. Equipped this tank with a gun rammer, optics and vents. This tank is stock, the gun's a nibbler, and this was a very ordinary, mundane game. In fact, on Ardennes, I don't normally really have any good, great games. You don't have any good, great games on any maps, Retro. Yeah, I know that, but there are some maps that I can point out that I pretty much generally have a crap game on. This tends to be one of them, and Ensk is absolutely always one of the others. I can never do anything worthwhile on Ensk. Now the trouble is, I'm still trying to get rid of my auto aim habit. I'm getting better because you just can't do it in heavies, and I must admit I don't know if heavies are the way forward for me. I'm absolutely going to see this Polish tech tree through to tier 10 and finish it, but here I am pushing forward, spotting. It's not really a position I should be in, and if I'm at the front I'm gonna be a victim, and I need to be sat further back trying to hit tanks that our team are spotting. But here I am up front making myself a target. But I just find that with the heavies, I just find the games, and this is from my perspective and me as a player, but I just find the games a little bit circumstantial. I don't like not having the manoeuvrability to get myself out of trouble, to be able to back out of a situation, and I don't really like the big Boshy guns that don't have reliable accuracy. I'm struggling with that whole thing, but I am quite enjoying playing a different type of tank. I just don't know if it's the way forward for me. I've even gone back to playing a few light tanks and they were disastrous, and I think I'm not enjoying the really super fast game anymore. I think I'm going to end up being a bit of a medium player. And we shall see. But this is all about the 53 TP. I do quite like its power to weight ratio, I do quite like its acceleration, I do quite like its relative manoeuvrability, and relatively effective armour too, especially when you get the second package and you get the sort of IS shaped turret. Now we've started capping. It's an encounter battle, and there's a good few of us in this corner, and that's something I've definitely learned as being a heavy tank. Don't go out on your own anywhere. You gotta stick with the other heavies and move in as an effective platoon and not be a target or a victim, because any tank with any slight mobility will absolutely run rings around me as a heavy. The 45 TP prior to this absolutely wasn't a keeper. This is quite a dull tech tree, and there is only one tank per tech tree, but I think when you look at tier 7, what would you rather be in, a 45 TP or a T29? Absolutely a T29 for me, but I think these tanks have been described as Russian tanks with gun depression, and I think that is a really good description of them. Now, there was a few not very well placed shots in this, and I'm forgetting, you know, I've got a stock gun, it's not going to do a lot of damage, it's not the maximum penetration, and really have to aim every shot in and make sure it's heading towards a weak spot. But we've got 9 seconds left and we're going to cap this game out, which is a little bit of a shame because we, by rights, looking at the top line, should absolutely have won this game, and pretty much all the enemy are over here in this corner and they're outnumbered. And that was that, and that was one of the first games I had in the 53 TP. Quite uneventful. How did we do overall? Decent 40,000 silver, yeah, 1,800 damage was okay, but then of course didn't really get to see the game to the end and came fourth overall. So this time we're rolling out a windstorm, 3 artillery. So my first decision, because I found that playing heavies you tend to be a bit of an artillery magnet, I'm going to stick to the city and stay out of the way of those filthy red squares. The first package is now unlocked and I have the nice turret and I have a decent view range, but I still have the pokey little gun that hasn't got bad penetration. My crew have got 6th Sense, Brothers in Arms, repairs, preventative maintenance, because I've had a few fires and I don't carry fire extinguishers. Well, that's easy to remedy, Retro, you carry fire extinguishers. Yeah, you see, I like 2 repair kits. And they're currently training in situational awareness, just to help boost the view range, because as we know, if you see a tank first, you can normally hit it first. Well, you can normally hit it first if you're a good shot. And that's also another area where I'm struggling with the heavy tanks, because they're not that accurate and I'm not a good shot. Sometimes it just makes you wonder. So here I am pushing again, and there were 4 of us, and I thought, come on guys, let's go. There's a heavy there. Let's go. We outnumber it, and I just do have a tendency, and some of you have picked up on this. Patience, Retro, you say, and I do have a tendency to push. But I think when there's 4 of you there, 5 of us there, you just keep going, and I've often found that I've pushed and they've all sort of cowered on the corner, and it's like, come on guys, there's only 1 tank there. Big mistake here. I'm going for that pike-nosed front, thinking he was angled a bit more than he actually was, and I thought it was flatter, and it bounced. And I'm on half health, and barely 3 minutes into the game. Something that happens to me a lot. I've really got to rein in the way I start my games. I lose too much health too quickly, and as a result I don't get to see those key games where you get to the end and you've got your health that you can use to take out the enemy. And this is a reason why I don't like city maps, because you go down a road and you meet something rock hard that's better than you with a better gun, a tier up, and I've got nowhere to hide, and 88 health. That tank's got a thing for me, and no, back up, yeah, it's auto aiming at me. Ooh. That, see, great. So, you know, 12 minutes left and I've got 88 health. Luckily, it's going to work out for me, but this is something I really need to change in my gameplay. Keep my health to the end and then expend it when I need to be a little bit more aggressive and help win the game. I want to be able to show you guys those clutch games where you bring it home for your team. Well, I've stayed in the city and I haven't exactly stayed out of trouble, but I have stayed out the way of artillery because that is really annoying. So I'm looking at the mini-map and one of our RT has fortunately looked and checked his map and bailed out. Well done, thank you. The other two, they've just kind of sat there and that's not going to go well for them, but we need to defend the cap. So for once in a game, I'm actually in quite a... what do you get for shooting a dead tank? You just get a bill for the shell that you wasted. Playing this side of the map, I can get nicely hull down over here, and hopefully, I mean, artillery are on the run, so they're not going to be aiming at me, but they would get a shot in me if they were. But I'm able to play this hull down. Luckily, I've got the decent turret now, and defend the cap. Nice shot in 300 damage. Good God, there's light tanks that do more damage than that. And the trouble is, the third package, you get a 120mm gun, which has got better damage, but the penetration goes down. So I don't think I'm going to be selecting that second package. I do not want less penetration. What's the point in having better damage if your shell's going to bounce? Right, it's the artillery. No, they're still on the run. And I'm a little bit concerned about that object. And of course, this is where I would want to have full health, because then I could play it a little bit more risky. But maybe, by being on the small amount of health that I've got, is going to make me be a better, tactical, more careful tanker. Nice shot and a fire, which was put out very quickly. That object 705 is still there. M103 is a one shot. Even with my little gun. Job done. First kill. Hurrah. 2 heavies left and artillery. Artillery is going to be taking out any minute, and this object is a little bit of a nemesis. I just do not want to risk any of its shots coming my direction. It's the last tank standing. It's just... I can barely see the top of it. It needs to be a good shot if it's going to... It's not even worth taking the shot, Retro. Come on. I mean, really? That little bit? The shot came true. What were the odds of that going anywhere near the tank, let alone dead centre? Oh, I'm really quite pleased with that, actually. So how did we do overall? We won the game, we stayed out of the way of artillery, lost a lot of health very quickly in that game, not great on silver, great on XP with some missions, and yeah, got some assisted damage and yeah, not great on damage really. But 2 tank kills, and how did we do overall? We came 4th. So to help this tank along, I activated the ×3 XP boosts, and what happened? Yep, I had game after game after game of dreadful results and dreadful gameplay. I was playing awful. Well, we still only have the first package unlocked. No, that's a lie. We have the second package unlocked, but I've still only got the first package applied. The second package had the 122mm gun, and even though you gain 70 damage per shot, which is quite nice, you lost 17mm of penetration, and I just thought that is a bad idea, I reckon. Do I want to risk it? So I didn't. Find myself on a city map again, and I'm thinking in a heavy, really, Retro? You should embrace the city maps. Side scraping, hull down, piles of rubble to hide behind. So this is an assault game, and we are the assaulters. And I felt a little bit unlucky getting the middle of the map. I tend to... Well, we all have favourite spots that we like to play, or favourite areas of the map, but sometimes I will just play the area I'm given. And I thought, well, I'll go straight up the middle and see what happens. That was a lucky bounce. And that M103 is close. Now, this M103 and that Conqueror in the back are a real pain in the backside. Because I'm monitoring them and I'm thinking, right, the M103 has taken its shot. I know the Conqueror's there. And just got my shot in too late. And yeah, I took a shot from the Conqueror. Luckily, not a lot of damage. So now I'm thinking, what do I do? If the M103 pushes, well, it's not going to push, there's a tank destroyer and another heavy behind me, but every time I'm going to push out to try and take a shot, I've really got to know for sure that the Conqueror's had its shot and the M103's taken its shot too. And then I'm clear. And that's what I'm thinking. But the chances of getting that to happen, and here we go, and do you know what? First aim shot didn't work. Just do an auto aim and it goes straight in. And maybe, arguably, having the bigger gun with the better damage may have helped me out in this game. But how do you know? You don't know that those shots are always going to go in. I mean, yes, nice soft side shots and rear shots are going to go in. But lower glacis, etc, etc, it's... I think the 17mm might have made all the difference for my shots going in this game. So I decided that, like I said, that M103 and that Conqueror, real pain in the backside, and I decided that it was a bit of a stalemate there. So I'm just trying to very carefully, nice bit of reversing, relocate. I'm just not keen, because effectively down that F line there are 4 tanks looking this way. And the TD just got killed behind me. There's the Conqueror. Oh, you're sticking out, mate. Oh, it derps into the ground. Oh, give me strength. Bouncer shot. Certainly putting the armour to the test in this game. Nice shot in. Be quite nice if you just stayed there, Mr. Conqueror, and just let me reap in a little bit of damage, if you don't mind. Oh, that's very kind. Do you mind if I just get one more shot? Could you just sit there for me and just let me get some more damage, please? Thank you very much. Oh, and an ammo rack. That's very kind of you. One more shot and I'll be happy. Thank you. If you can just stay there. And... derped. Well, one more shot, mate? Yeah, alright. Well, thank you anyway. Well, at least I've got some damage now. And some critical. Is that Conqueror going to stick out again? No, I don't think it's going to. And I'm a little bit concerned that the M103 is still around the corner. A TD has closed in. And I just want to get out. I just don't like this situation. And the T29, tier 7, 2 tiers down. Surely the M103 is going to take advantage of that. I'm ready if you do. And yeah, Conqueror, yeah, see? Told you the M103 and the Conqueror were a pain in the bum. And I knew that Conqueror was going to take its shot and just didn't pull back in time. But the Conqueror's pulled back. And I am lucky that these shots aren't going in, actually. This is my armour coming into play. And actually, I'm really quite enjoying listening to that dull thud of a shell bouncing off of your armour. So, the Conway... Oh, just got out of the way. Yeah, I'm on my way, mate. I'm going to... Oh, hello. Oh, a nice side shot, thank you. Quite like it. If I could have another side shot, if that's okay. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, just get a shot in the tracks. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Yeah, you do not want to be in front of that gun. And luckily, the Conway's pulled back too. The enemy are 2 tanks up on us. Oh, no, only 1 tank now. it's relatively even. I've got no idea which way. This game could go either way. But the trouble is, we've got a lot of triangles, and we could, you know, triangles can be a bit There's that M103. And, it bounced. I was aiming for the lower glacis, but it didn't fly true. His shot bounced. I want to take this M103 out because it's been damned awkward in this game. Then I get a bit confused because I see two heavy symbols. And of course you look at the mini-map and one's miles away. I'm going in for the M103. It's quite nice to have a little bit of health. And I kept that health. And the M103, hurrah, is taken out. But we are 2 tanks down. And neither of us are together. We are 3 tanks down. And we are not together. Well, I'm going to go down fighting. Going to do my best to go and join the medium. There's a Conqueror. I don't remember the list. Is that the Conqueror? It might be. Either way, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take that Conqueror out because I am not a good enough player to take on the rest of those tanks and survive. I just know it's not going to happen. And already the TD's coming up behind me. Conqueror taken out. Hurrah. TD at the back. TD behind me. Heavy coming in on the 6th line. Quite well protected here. Charioteer coming in for me. Nice shot in. And this is arguably where you might be thinking, well, if you had that big gun, Retro, it might have just saved you. Another shot in. The Charioteer's shot bounces. That shot bounces. That shot didn't. This is going to be close. Can I just get a last kick? Yes, I can. And the KV and lots of. That shot didn't go in. The shot goes underneath the tank. Really? This isn't going to end well, is it? Well, do you know what? That shot goes in. Yeah, here we go. Here they all come. Well, I gave it a shot. I went down fighting, but when 3 tanks come at you from all different angles, you ain't gonna win. So, how do we do overall? Just under 3,000 damage, so I'm really happy with that. 3 tanks destroyed, happy with that. Not bad on the silver. 4,000 blocks. My armour really came into play in that game and I quite enjoyed those dull thuds and I came top. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing my progression with the 53 TP, not even fully unlocked. I think this is really where the Polish tech tree becomes something of its own and the tanks, in my view, become quite playable. Whether I'm a heavy player or not will remain to be seen. And perhaps by the time I get to tier 10, that decision will have been made. This originally was going to be a 5-chapter video, but it ran at over 40 minutes and I thought that was just a little bit too long. And the final chapter, which was going to be called To Cap or Not To Cap, I've decided to make into a separate video, all of its own, and tell that story separately. Hope you enjoyed the video, keep safe, keep tanking, and I'll see you soon.